The welder's lungs don't fail from the fire. They fail from the smoke he can't see. A house fire kills more people with smoke than flame. Every firefighter knows it. The smoke gets you long before the heat. Your weld is a controlled fire. The smoke from a controlled fire is just as deadly. You breathe it every shift, 8 hours a day, for 30 years. You don't see it. You don't smell it the way you used to. And by the time you feel it, you've already pulled it through your lungs about 8 million times. I want to talk to the welders today, the men who've spent a career bent over a puddle of molten metal, head down, hood down, breathing in everything that comes off the work. There's a price for that work. Almost nobody warns you until the bill is due. My father wasn't a welder. He ran sheet metal for 38 years. He brazed, he cut, he sat in plenty of zinc fume from galvanized steel. By 60, he sounded like he was breathing through a wet rag. One flight of stairs cost him a minute. He never said a word about it. Pay attention to how you breathe climbing the stairs. That catch is information. Don't ignore it the way our fathers did. If this is hitting close, subscribe so the next welder finds it too. Hit like if your lungs already talk to you, and tell me down in the comments. How many years have you been on the gun? I read every one. You felt it. The cough you don't have a name for, the morning one that clears after 10 minutes, the shortness of breath you blamed on getting older, the way the inside of your hood smells different now than it did at 25. That's the tax. It's already being collected. Here's what's happening inside that hood. Welding fume is not smoke. It's metal, vaporized, then condensed into particles so small your lungs have no defense against them. They go past the throat, past the bronchial tubes, all the way down into the air sacs. And they stay. 3 you should know by name. Manganese, the slow neurological damage. Tremors, slowed movement, the kind your wife notices before you do. Hexavalent chromium, a known carcinogen, comes from stainless and chrome-plated work. There is no safe level, none. And the fine particulates from every other metal you ever burned, iron, nickel, zinc, lead from old coatings, are coating the inside of your lungs in a layer that does not come off. That's not opinion. That's chemistry. The trade has known this for 50 years. The men running it have not generally made it their business to tell you. I knew a man named Mike, master electrician, but he came up running stick weld in the 70s before he switched trades. 30 years total breathing metal on and off. By 55, he could not walk from his truck to the job trailer without stopping. By 58, he was gone. Heart attack. They called it sudden, but his lungs had been telling him for 15 years, and the heart goes when the lungs stop carrying their share of the load. Mike never wore a respirator. He did not have to. He did not know what we know now. You do. Stop for a second. If anything in this video so far has matched something you have been ignoring, say it. To yourself, in the truck, wherever you are. Not to convince me, to convince you. The men who do something are the ones who admit it is already happening, not the ones waiting. Here's what you do. 3 things. None of them cost you a career. Together they run less than 1 emergency room visit when your breathing scares your wife. First, the respirator. You have heard it your whole career. They fog the hood, fight the helmet, and make a long day worse. The gear has changed. A modern half-face respirator with the right cartridge, P100 minimum, and an organic vapor combination, if you are burning galvanized metal, fits cleaner than the old ones, breathes easier, and weighs almost nothing. Men who switched 2 years ago do not notice it after the first morning. For stainless or chrome, step up to a powered air-purifying respirator inside the helmet. It costs more. It is worth every dollar against what chrome does over a career. The ones worth owning are linked in the description. Second, source capture. The respirator handles what gets past the work. Source capture handles it before it gets there. A portable fume extractor, one you can drag right up next to the puddle, pulls the fume off the work before it ever reaches your face. Hands down the highest leverage piece of gear in welding, bigger lift than the respirator. Most welders go their whole careers without one, because the shop did not have one and the boss did not buy one. Buy your own. Once. It lasts a decade. It goes from job to job in your truck. Linked below are the ones built for actual job site use. Third, what you do for the lungs you already have. You can't undo what's coated the inside of them. You can support what's left. A simple daily routine, N-acetylcysteine, omega-3, a multivitamin with the antioxidants the lung actually uses, won't reverse damage, but it slows how fast it progresses. Men over 50 who ran this reported breathing easier within a month. Not magic. Raw materials for repair, linked below. The basic, boring versions that actually contain what the label says, not the supplement store hype. The math. Real respirator. Portable extractor. The supplement routine. All in under $500. Last 10 years. One hospital stay for a serious respiratory issue after age 55 runs $4,000 minimum before insurance. The slow neurological damage from years of manganese. No price tag, no fix. $500 now, or your lungs for the next 20 years. Old Bill used to say, a tradesman who won't spend money on his own body is paying somebody else to take it from him later. He retired at 62 with both lungs still working. Half the men he came up with couldn't. So here's the rule. The fume tax gets paid either way. You just choose whether you pay it in a respirator now or in your lungs later. Pay it now. Pay it in the cheap currency while you still can. This hit home. The channel's free weekly email goes deeper on how the trade quietly taxes the rest of your body. One email a week, written for working men. No fluff. Link below. Don't be the man who finds out at 60 that the cough had a name all along. I'll see you in the next one.